I designed and 3D printed the carry-on suitcase, took it on a trip with me, and tested it through that trip. Join me on how I designed it, put it together, and the issues that I had with it during my trip, and how I designed the next generation of the product that fixed some of those issues.
This video was supported by Bamboo Lab and wouldn't be possible without their support. I wanted to design something with sharp edges and kind of different. This was when the design of the Mac Pro came to my mind. The form factor worked very well, and even the dimensions were very close to a carry-on suitcase. I recreated the front grille, and I was also able to find a replica of the $700 wheels for a fraction of the price. The first thing that I did after the initial design was done, I 3D printed the parts in a smaller scale before pasting any material on the full scale print to see where are the errors, which areas need improvement and changes, and see how the parts work together. The overall design worked very well together, but there were areas that definitely needed to make some changes to make it look better and nicer. As a part of the initial design, I was planning to use a regular locking hardware that comes with regular suitcases, but it didn't look right and I wanted to make some changes to that. So I went back to Apple and how they locked the original Mac Pro, and I wanted to inspire by that and design something that was similar in that way. After landing on how I wanted lock to look, it was time to work on the locking mechanism. I did many trial and errors to see how the design works and how I can hold the two sides of the suitcase together. This is part of the final design that I came up with, and as you can see it, this is how they go together and they lock in place. One method that I used throughout the design process was similar to what I did with the locking mechanism. I printed only small sections of the design that needed to be tested. So for example, this is how I designed around the hinge system to make sure everything fits together and the screws line up on the final design. I also used a similar method for connecting the handle to the suitcase body. After 2 design iterations, I came with the final design that you can see on the left. After the design of most of the elements were finalized, it was time to print the first full-scale version of the model. I wanted to use some of my leftover materials because this was still a test to make sure everything works good together. So this is my first look at the full scale of what I designed.
After testing everything and making sure they fit together, it was time to print the second full-scale model. This was another 3 days of 3D printing. So I printed it, put it together, added all of the hardware, and tested. After the testing was successful, I decided this is the one that I'm taking with me on my trip. So I painted it and it was good to go. Right before this trip, I sent this idea to Bamboo Lab, and after I came back, they sent me their H2S 3D printer, which was perfect for this design. It has a very, very large print volume, which helped me start working on the V2 of the design. Most of the changes were minor changes based on the failures that I had on the trip. But also there was one major change. I was able to reduce the number of parts from 4 to 6 pieces to only 2 pieces on each side of this design. This helped a lot with the strengths, which helped me to reduce the wall thickness and the print time.
Here you can see version 1 and version 2 side by side. Most of the changes that I made were minor changes, but they had major impacts on the overall design and the performance of the suitcase. So I went based on the failures that I had with the version 1 and tried to improve on them. One of the biggest things that was an issue was the bottom and top portion of the suitcase were designed based on two pieces because I had the limitations with my 3D printer to print them as two pieces. But with using my H2S 3D printer, I was able to print them as one piece. And the failure point on those ones were the joint point, and I had to add duct tape after they started failing because of the load that everything in the suitcase put on. The second failing point was the locking mechanism. The earlier design was based on a pin on the back, and there was no backing on it, and when there was a bump on the road or something like that, one of the pieces started lifting up, and this piece came out of the locking mechanism and it opened the suitcase. So what I did as a fix in my trip, I just had extra pieces of these ones, so I glued one on the back to keep them lined up, and on the new version I just made it as a part of the back. One minor change that I made was just removing the magnets that I had in the earlier design. The purpose of these magnets was to line the two pieces of the suitcase next to each other, but they did not perform as well, and they did not have any impacts on the overall performance, so I just took them out to simplify the design. Here is a closer look at the black version of the product with all of the final design changes.
This was a very long process and took a lot of testing and failures. I definitely enjoyed those parts of the process as well. The design is still far from perfect and needs more modifications and changes to the interior as well. Please let me know in the comments what changes I should make and if you would like me to make another video covering those ones. Thanks again to Bamboo Lab for supporting this project and making it happen. If you would like to buy one of their products and also support this channel, make sure to use my link in description to buy their products. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next video.